For the new season, I'm tying up some RS2 emergers. I've not actually fished with these before, but they do have a stellar reputation. So, and they are apparently quite simple to tie. So I'm using a partridge size 18 hook. You can apparently tie these in sizes 12 to 24. I've got a tan shear thread at 14/0. And the first thing we're going to do is to tie in some micro fivets for the tail. I don't often use micro fivets, but when I do use them, I like to use these. I like the mottled pattern and they seem quite good. Okay, so I'm just going to tie on 4 of those. And for this pattern, they recommend the tail to be about twice the shank length. So I'll just tie all 4 on, not too worried about separating them at the moment. And then I'm going to get my thumb underneath, spread them out, and then I'm going to go in between the 2. And so you end up with that. Tie in the rest and trim. And back again. On the original pattern, they would use dark dun micro fivets. And for the body, they use muskrat fur. I'm going to use ginger hairs here. And one of the things we've got to do is make sure we get a very small noodle, a very thin noodle. Just playing up a bit. Okay. And because I want a very thin noodle, I'm going to be tightening it, obviously, as I go along. So although the body's going to be thin, what I do want is quite a pronounced thorax. Okay, so on the original pattern, what they would use is the bottom part of a saddle hackle. What I'm going to use is CDC, and I'm using quite highly coloured CDCs. As you can see, when you see it, you'll see that the wing is very small on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on pomegranate, which I found is very effective, quite surprisingly visible on the water. As I say, just for the small ones, you only need 1 feather. And trim. And you'll see even that amount of CDC is too much for the pattern, and I'll trim that in a moment. But first, I'm going to put a little bit more hairs here on, and we're going to develop the thorax. in front and behind to help the wings stand up. And as I say, quite a pronounced thorax. Then we're going to whip finish. So there's not many flies that are simpler to tie than this. Bit of varnish. As I say, put it on the thread because I don't fancy trying to varnish the small ones. To trim the thread. Now what we're going to do, we're going to trim that as well. Okay. And there we have a size 18 RS2. What we'll do is just tidy up a bit. As I say, it's got a stellar reputation, this, so I'm really looking forward to having a go. And it is remarkably simple to tie. Earlier on, I tied it in size 20 as well. And I've also tied it in a size 24. I don't know if you can see it there. But hopefully, that'll do me very well. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.